All right. Who's here? Who is here like it's that time of the year? I don't know. Let me see. Jay Huey is here, so we're going in now. We got one person here. That means it's time to start the show. Music, shut up. It's time to start the show.
You're watching the home of the liveliest Cleveland Browns play-by-play watch parties. It's the Dog Check Channel. And now, here's your host, Corey Boyd.
Let's get it, Jay Huey. How are you doing? You're in the chat. We are here, and the Browns and the Bills just had the greatest joint practice in NFL history. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm going to say because it sounds good, right? It sounds good to say the greatest joint practice in NFL history. Where are you from? Where are you at? Hit a like in the chat. Hit a share in the chat because we're going to talk about that joint practice, something that has me really concerned, and I'm getting really nervous about our team right now because somebody is missing and we don't really know why. It's just, speculation out there, but they're not really telling us what's going on. And then, of course, we're going to talk about everybody's favorite subject around the Cleveland Browns world, and that is the kickers. Yes, no, not the kickers. We're talking about the quarterback battle that really I don't believe is a battle anymore. I think today told me everything I needed to know about who is going to start September against Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, and the Jags. Let's get it. Let's go. Where are you from if you're in the chat? Where are you from? Jackson McCurry, Dog Check.
Dog Check!
And the sounds are working.
Dog Check!
Where are you from in the chat? And let's talk about it. Who had the better performance today? Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders? Now, I didn't get to see the joint practice. I only can go off clips that I see and the numbers that are posted on our beautiful QB tracker. And there are some arguments about the QB tracker because it said Shedeur Sanders went 13 for 23, no touchdowns and no interceptions, but there was a play that they said to McCorley that should have been a touchdown, but it was not counted. So I don't know if he had a touchdown or if he didn't. And then Shedeur Sanders threw no interceptions, but of course Deshaun Watson threw another interception in training camp. So his interception numbers are just, my goodness, going up the wazoo, and it's kind of making me sad because he keeps throwing interceptions. He had one touchdown and one interception today in joint practice with Buffalo. Portage Lakes, Ohio. What up, AAA? Didn't get a notification. YouTube hates me. Western Pennsylvania, Watson. I told you D-Watt would be QB number one. Jeff, that's really, I told you he would be QB number one too. Now, if you told me the Browns are going to go to the AFC Championship game and Spurgeon Wynn would be my quarterback, then I would tell you you're on to something, Jeff. But I have said he's going to be QB1 all along, all because he's making $40 million. Stephanie, how are you doing? So, who did better today? I really don't know because I really can't grade it, but I will tell you who's the starting quarterback going to be after today, and it's going to be Deshaun Watson. The reason why is all of his snaps came with the first team. Every snap that he had today came with the first team. None with the seconds when it came. None of that. It all came with the first team when it really counted. Shedeur Sanders had snaps with the second team when it really counted, according to X, according to Twitter. So that really alarmed me to say, well, according to the QB tracker, Deshaun Watson's all with the ones. Deshaun had 4 with the ones and 2 with the 2s. So that tells me, hello, good morning, there's your QB1. But do I think that the competition is over? Yes. But am I still excited to see what happens in preseason? Yes. Because you can have a joint practice. But it's still not the real thing because they're not tackling. They're not really trying to go after the quarterbacks because nobody wants to see anybody get hurt in practice. But when it comes down to football games in the preseason, they're actually trying to sack their quarterback. They're not playing two-hand touch, two-hand Timmy. That's what I call it, two-hand Timmy. So I am still want to see what Shedeur does in preseason and what Deshaun Watson does in the second half. Because if you didn't know, Deshaun Watson's going back to Cleveland. And it's his first game in Cleveland since October 2024. And we all know what happened in October 2024 against the Cincinnati Bengals. It is when he ruptured his Achilles. He has not played a real down of football at Cleveland Brown Stadium since October 2024. So it's going to be very interesting how he does at home. Now, last week he was on the road. It was against Chicago. So who knows what he's going to do when that home crowd embraces him. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. He wouldn't even be here if I didn't speak it into existence. I'm sorry. This is all my fault. It is AAA. It is your fault. You did speak this into existence. You were pounding the table that the Browns were going to take Deshaun Watson, and you were absolutely right. And now we have to deal with this for a whole nother year. Thanks a lot, AAA. It is all your fault. You should have to pay some of his contract. So let me know. Who do you think did better in joint practice today, Shedeur or Deshaun Watson? I have the numbers, 12 for 17, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Deshaun Watson, all with the ones. Or Shedeur Sanders, 13 for 23, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But I did see a pass where it looked like a touchdown to me. They didn't count it as a touchdown. I don't know why. I don't make the rules of the QB tracker, so I don't know. Kid Wilson. Everybody knew Deshaun was going to be the starter 3 weeks ago. I could have told you really that, if you had truth serum in me, Kid Wilson, truth serum in me in March, I would have told you he's going to be QB1 in March. Now, did he deserve it? That's another question for another day. But we're going to get to another question about Deshaun Watson. And let me tell you, do you believe Deshaun Watson? He was asked about how he's going to be welcomed when he comes back to Cleveland on Saturday. What does he expect from the fans come Saturday? And he said, and I quote, I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me how he is embraced when he comes back Saturday against the Buffalo Bills. When he comes into the game in the second half, it doesn't matter to him how the fans embrace him. Do you believe Deshaun Watson when he says that? It doesn't matter if he's cheered. It doesn't matter if he is booed. The embrace that he gets from the Browns fans. Because if you remember the last time he was here, when he got hurt, Browns fans were cheering when he ruptured his Achilles. Not all Browns fans. Not all Browns fans. I'm not saying every single Browns fans were cheering him, but there were some that were cheering. And what up, John Eagle? How are you doing? If you're in the chat, hit that like button when you come in. And I don't want, this is what some people are saying. I wasn't cheering him being injured. I was cheering that another quarterback gets to play. You can wait until this man is in the locker room before you cheer the next quarterback coming in. I don't want that excuse. You could have waited till he was in the locker room when he was off the cart to cheer the next quarterback that was coming in. And I believe at the time it was Jameis Winston. You can fact check me if I'm right or if I'm wrong about that. You could have waited to cheer when he was gone. People actually cheered this man when he got injured. So AAA says he asked how he literally said, I don't care. 3 words. Right. I don't care. Do I believe that? No. I think he's lying a little bit here, and this is why. You know how people say, I don't care what people think? They're lying. Everybody cares what somebody thinks in some capacity, whether it's a loved one, whether it's a friend, whether it's a confidant. They care in some type of capacity. When you're going to your home field, your home fans, you are going to care a little bit how you are embraced. If you go out onto that field and they are booing you, you're going to care. I don't believe it 1 second. It doesn't matter to me. You can boo me like I'm going onto the road. That is going to make you feel some way. When you get cheered, you are happy that you are embraced by those fans. It makes you happy inside. It makes you want to go and compete. It makes you want to go and win. So to say, I don't care how I'm embraced by the fans. They can boo me. They can cheer me. That is a load to me of spam, not even baloney, because spam is worse than baloney. That is a load of spam to me. You let me know. What do you think in the chat? Is he telling the truth or is he giving me a load of spam? Baloney is off the table. Watson needs to play 3 quarters in the second game and get on a roll. We don't want him to play 3 quarters. I've seen enough of Deshaun Watson. He could play 3 quarters in the 3rd preseason game. You know what that means? You know he cares. His performance since his allegations. Hey Corey, sorry I'm late. What up, Cheryl? My GOAT, Diddy Watson, winning comeback player of the year. That's your GOAT? Are you reading my message before stating your opinion? No, not at all. I didn't even see your message. I bloviated and then read your message. It just means that, hey, AAA, you are actually listening to me because you know I am right for once in my life. AAA, I'm right for once in my life. So you let me know, do you think that he cares about what fans think, or do you actually believe what he's saying? I don't care. I'm telling you right now, I don't believe a word that is coming out of his mouth. And I got to take a drink real quick because I'm getting a little dry here. What about Jerry Jeudy dropping Shedeur's TD passes yesterday? You know, Jerry Jeudy, I can't say he's dropping them on purpose. What for me to say that a grown man is dropping a pass on purpose because he likes a quarterback or he doesn't like a quarterback, I am not going to say that. But it's quite fishy to me that the most routine of a football catch that you are dropping, and then when another quarterback throws the ball, you can leap in the air and catch that particular football. It just makes me go, It makes me ponder things, right, AAA? I'm not saying he's doing it on purpose because I am not Jerry Jeudy. I can't say for a fact he's doing it on purpose because I don't want to be a liar, right? I don't want to be a liar, but I can say it's quite fishy to me that you can leap for one quarterback before a routine catch for another you're dropping. Now, in a game situation, I want to believe, hopefully, he would just catch the football when Shedeur Sanders is in the game, AAA. But it is quite fishy to me that he's just dropping passes all willy-nilly. I was kidding. I know you're kidding, AAA. I know. Listen, you know I know. You know I know. Because when I'm right, AAA, I'm going to tell everybody in the nation. How about, I read that one. What up, Steve? How you doing? Tell Barb I said hello. Jeudy is Watson's secret agent. He's working for him. He absolutely cares. Jerry Jeudy doesn't like Shedeur. What up, Anderson Smith? I don't know what you put there, but how are you doing, Anderson Smith? Hopefully you hit that like button when you came in. Hopefully you did. And thank you for coming into the chat, Anderson Smith. I don't know what you said, but your tribal chief is going to acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me.
QB battle over. No more split reps after today. Will there be no more split reps? We will have to see going into today. Nobody else but AAA asked, did they believe in Deshaun Watson or not? You guys are glossing over my question. But like I said, I don't believe Deshaun Watson. He absolutely cares what the fans think. Because when you go out there and you get booed, it touches your heart and it touches your soul. So no, Deshaun Watson, I don't believe you at all. Not one iota. If you just came in, the practice is over between Buffalo and Cleveland. Deshaun Watson took all of his snaps with the ones. Shedeur took some with the ones and some with the two. Even Green got into the game. He got himself a touchdown. He was 3 for 3 with a touchdown. He got a little bit of run in the game. We're going to see him against the Patriots. So I said coming into this stream that the quarterback has already been decided. If you're still holding hope, if you are sitting at the edge of your seat and you are hoping that Shedeur is going to start, if everybody is healthy, I am here to tell you right now it's not happening. And it's crushing for my soul too. I'm a Browns fan. I have rooted for Spurgeon Wynn, Charlie Fry, Jake Delhomme, Jason Campbell. Okay, I am going back to quarterbacks that you probably never heard of in your life. So I have seen bad quarterback play in my life. I am telling you right now, I am here to help you. If you're just a Shedeur fan, I am here because I am telling you what's going to happen. Deshaun Watson is trotting out there against Jacksonville in September, whatever the first game is, September 7th, whatever day that goes on. I am just here. I am your comfort pillow. I am here to help you, to guide you through another year of travesty that we have to deal with another QB. It makes no sense to start Deshaun Watson, but I'll get into that a little bit later. How you doing, Corey? Waited for an hour on the 18th. You're always worth the wait. Tina, I apologize. I did put it on the page that I was not going to make it the other day, but I didn't have a chance to cancel the actual stream that said I was going live. Evidently, you didn't get to see it, so I do apologize, Tina, but thank you for showing up and saying I'm worth an hour to wait. You are just an angel to think I'm worth an hour. Thank you, Tina. You get a dog check.
Dog check!
Thank you, Tina.
Dog check!
Nah, he doesn't really care. He never wanted to be here. They should let the Falcons get him, which is where he was headed until they threw money at him. Jix. 130.25. Chantel, I'm a season ticket holder, and if I want to boo Watson, I will boo him. I pay for those tickets. I'm not going to watch a Predator. Okay. I just don't like booing somebody who's injured, Chantel. That's where the only thing I disagree with you there is when a human is injured. I don't care who the human is. If it's Deshaun Watson, if it's Shedeur Sanders, if it's Tom Brady, if it's Trevor Lawrence, if it is Brock Purdy, I don't care. If it's a human that is injured, that's where I don't agree with, because if it was somebody that you loved, if it was a family member and they tore an ACL, a PCL, a CCL, and a TD13, I don't know what ligament that is, we wouldn't want them to get cheered when they are injured. So that's the only drawback I have with that. But any other situation, listen, hey, go ahead and do what you want to do because you paid for the tickets. Now, I never boo people because I don't think it's going to make them play better. You know what I do? I just leave. I'll leave. I'll leave if I see my team being trash because I got to go beat traffic. I just leave. I will leave because listen, traffic's going on. I got to get out of here. My team sucks. But that's what I do. Instead of boo, I leave because I got to beat traffic. If I made $40 million, I don't care what fans think. Why start possible future for your franchise when you overpaid someone like an idiot? Just saying. He will start game one season since and before Baker. The second string didn't start as much as the starter. I think it's some BS that they split reps since the ones are not playing Saturday. It's not a fair comparison on the competition. I like that, Django. I won't boo an injured player, but bad player. Got you, Chantel. Okay, hey, go ahead. Do your thing. My only thing is injuries, but do your thing. The last time he was on the field, he got injured and he was cheered. I don't like that. That's the only thing I don't like, Chantel. But hey, do your thing. Just don't boo me, please. If I was your door, I would get out of Cleveland. Your door. If I was your door. Oh, Shedeur probably. As I could, since you got in the league, you got underneath the coach that did not like you and mess with your career. I am back, Lillian. It's okay. Watson's a bum. Sanders will get his chance quickly. Brown's trying to prove Watson wasn't a bust, but he is a bum. I'm selling my Panthers tickets to my neighbor. She's a Carolina fan. Only to sit behind someone who's overpaid and underperforming. This is also Watson's first year with a good running game since he only played 1.5 game with Chubb. That is a good point. Do I think Watson's good? No. But he did only get 1.5 game with Chubb. And I do believe if Nick Chubb doesn't get injured against Pittsburgh, I think we're sitting in a different position. Because I think with Joe Flacco and Nick Chubb, I think they beat the Houston Texans because they actually have a run game, but we're not going to go back on revisionist history. But speaking of the run game, what up, Connor? Just sat down to dinner, sloppy joes and fries on the menu tonight. Oh, get me some sloppy joes. Speaking of the run game, are you worried about Quinshon Judkins? Because I am. This is what I was preluding to earlier in the stream. I'm worried about Quinshon Judkins. He hasn't practiced in the past couple of practices. They're saying it's nagging injuries. They're not saying what actually is going on with him. He didn't practice in the joint practice. He didn't practice earlier this week. He's dealing with nagging injuries, but they're not disclosing what these injuries are. And the reason why I am concerned with Quinshon Judkins because we know the type of runner that he is. He's not a cute runner, right? He doesn't dance. He doesn't dance and prance around, right? He doesn't try to make you miss. He tries to run over your entire soul. So the reason why I am worried, because it's early, it's his second year. We know he left last year with an injury, foot injury, was gone for the rest of the season. He's came back and now he's dealing with nagging injuries. Now, it could be minute. It could be nothing. Could be a mere bag of shells, and I have nothing to worry about. But it worries me because this is his second year and he's already dealing with nagging injuries. The way that he runs that football, he runs violently and he doesn't care. So it gives me caution to pause, and now I'm like, hold on, what's going on with my Quinshon Judkins? Is he okay? Or are they just being very, very cautious with him? And they're like, we just want to save him till September. And I could understand that too. Now, I don't know what the injury is. I just seen nagging and they're being very cautious. Now, if it's just a bruised hangnail, fine. But if it's like a knee or a hammy or a back, I'm worried. You guys let me know. How do you feel about that? And let me get back to the comments. What did I miss? Let's see. I read that one. I read that one. Read that one. Dude called him Shedeur. So my question is, if Watson plays well in Cleveland and can't get that 27 QB, and they can't get that 27 they want so bad, he bounces out of Cleveland, then what they gonna say? You hitting them in the neck. That's a very good question. By the way, you're worth at least 2 hours. It's either a hammy or a groin. Those are long-lasting nagging injuries. Should have kept Chubb if nothing else. How about loyalty to your best players? Oh wait, I forgot it's a business. Don't make me cry. Bring back Chubb. I'm glad let's get back to Chantel's question here. I like her question. Do I have something with just Watson? I don't have a Watson shot, so we'll go back to here. I like your question, and we've brought this up. We've brought this up earlier. Django, 4 years and some change. Good Lord.
Here comes the money.
Appreciate you.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
We've brought this up before. I think they're being overly cautious. Appreciate you, AAA. Chantel's question. We've brought this up before, and I have said this. What do you get good out of starting Deshaun Watson this year? Everybody talks about this 2027 draft class that is so great, right? You got Arch Manning, you got Dante Moore, you got Julian Sand. Those are the three names that everybody talks about coming out of this class that is so great that the Browns need to look for another quarterback if these quarterbacks don't pan out. What do you possibly get out of playing Deshaun Watson? And I said this, the only thing you get out of playing him is if he wins you a Super Bowl. If he doesn't win you a Super Bowl, what do you get out of it? You don't want to pay him again. You already paid him $230 million. Do you really want to extend another contract to Deshaun Watson? Nope. What if he plays just good enough to get you 9 wins and you don't make the playoffs? What does that do for you? Absolutely nothing. And you're not getting the top flight quarterback, and you have wasted Shedeur Sanders' time and he doesn't get any reps. So we don't know how good Shedeur is again. There is no positive note of playing Deshaun Watson. There is none unless you can guarantee he's going to take you to the Super Bowl and the promised land. Would I bet my kidney on that? No, I would not. So there is not a positive to playing Deshaun Watson. We know what Deshaun Watson is. And when you traded Myles Garrett, you told the elephant down the street that you're not worried about winning a Super Bowl. You were trying to get your future ready. So how do you get your future ready? You start your youngest quarterback, who has the most skills on the team, and that's Shedeur Sanders. It's not Dylan Gabriel, and it's not Green. That's what you do, because if Shedeur is not ready, we need to know. And you give him 17 games to do so. And that rhymes, I'm going to keep it there. But Deshaun Watson is not the answer, and it's not because I don't like Deshaun Watson. It's not because I have a vendetta against Deshaun Watson. I cheered for him for freaking 4 years, and people yelled at me for doing it. It's because what makes most sense is to start Shedeur Sanders against Jacksonville all the way into the end, and if he's freaking good, then guess what? You got him for cheap. You got a pair of Jordans for $10 in the box. The real Jordans with the real symbol for $10. If he's not good, then everybody in Cleveland, well, 80% of Cleveland get what they want. They get to go get another shiny quarterback in 2027, and you start the cycle all over again with another quarterback. But starting Deshaun Watson does nothing for you except you paying a quarterback $40 million and saying, well, I got to see if I'm wrong or not, so we're going to try it one more time. That was a lot. They're going to be out of luck. They seem to be doing everything they can without being too obvious, but they want Arch. The march for Arch is on. I hate this mentality. Cleveland wants a QB. They said Sanders suck. Why not play him if he's so bad? So they can get that QB they sacredly, because they know deep down Sanders will win. If he balls out, you have to consider keeping him. Listen, Kid Wilson. Listen, if they do you want to see a stadium burn down? Pay Deshaun Watson again. Pay him again. Give me more on that. Do not keep Watson. He's expired milk. Defense not looking good this year. Watson is not balling out. He will come home to face the Panthers 0-2. I'll bet on that. Jags and Tampa are going to beat the brakes off Watson. Watch and see. Corey, the owner, wants Arch badly. I do agree with that. I think the owner wants Arch. He won't come out and say it. But I don't. This thing that I hate about a lot of Cleveland fans is the next shiny quarterback who has not proved the thing yet in the NFL. We have done this for years, whether it was Arch Manning before he wasn't that great in college, and then people jumped off Arch Manning, and then they jumped on to Fernando Mendoza, and everybody wanted Fernando Mendoza. And before that, it was Drew Allar. And before that, it was any quarterback that you could name the Browns want without even trying to get the quarterbacks that they have good or give them a chance to be good, right? So let's see what these quarterbacks do on the team first. Let's try that one for once. Can we try that, please? Can we try making the players on our team good for once before we cry for a quarterback that hasn't even played yet in college their last season? That's all I want. Can we do that? No, we can't. But I do believe the owner, deep down inside, if you shot him with truth serum, he wants Arch Manning any way that he could have him. He would carry Arch Manning on his back to get him in Cleveland because he loves his family. I just want to win. Please don't mention Miles anymore. You're going to make me cry. Sorry, Tina. I am so sorry. I am just telling you the facts. That's how I feel about Nick Chubb. When people mention Nick Chubb, a tear comes down my eye. We will see the Brown Stadium host playoff game before 29. Will we? If I had to be a betting man, I'd say no. Manning's not coming to Cleveland. Believe me, they will pull an Eli. I don't think they would pull an Eli when it comes to Cleveland because of the relationship that they have with Haslam. They have a great relationship. I don't think they would pull that because of the relationship they have with the Haslams. And I think that's why he wants him so bad, because of that relationship. But I don't think the Browns are going to be terrible enough to get Arch Manning. I don't think people understand that. I don't think they understand that. You have to be terrible again. And I don't think the Browns are going to be that bad this year to get an Arch Manning. I really don't. That is me being honest. I don't think the Browns are going to be that bad this year to even think about that. That's why the Browns should be invested in getting their young quarterback good to build around them. I don't think that the Browns will be that bad this year. I really don't. Oh, we can't try that. If Arch is smart, he won't come to Cleveland. Arch Manning hasn't even put up Manziel numbers in college to be considered. They picked Manning, and I'm no longer a Browns fan. And he does have to prove himself in college. He was not great last year. Let's remember that. There is no donation goal today, AAA, but I greatly appreciate you because my next stream will be Saturday. So I didn't want to put a donation goal up there, but you can donate to the cause. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, my good sir.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
So I will be here Saturday regardless, but I didn't want to put a goal up there because I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow. So I didn't want anybody, I don't want you to feel like you have to donate. That is the way that, that keeps this stream going, showing up, sharing, liking, donating, that keeps the stream going. But I'm not going to be here tomorrow. So I didn't want to make you, think to hit a goal or anything like that. But I do appreciate every time that you guys donate. Thank you so much. Dante Moore over Manning. Start more is to tank for QB. Start more is to tank. Start who? 4-14. I think we'll be a little better than that. I really do. I could be wrong. I think we'll be better than that. For those who came in, or if you came in a little late, if you didn't get to chime in, who do you think won or who played better today against Buffalo? If you just came in, who do you think played better than Buffalo? My ticker is not updated. I do apologize. That is not what we talked about on the show today. Who do you think performed better in Buffalo today? Now, take it for granted, Deshaun got all the snaps with the ones today that he played. Shedeur, out of his 6, 4 were with the ones and 2 were with the twos. Say that a whole bunch of times. 2 were with the twos. Let me know what you think. Cleveland needs to get Bill Belichick at least to show the build a team. I think Bill Belichick is done with the NFL. I really do. He will have to have a nice situation to come back. Start move. Okay. Corey, I love your optimism. Shedeur, it's a new year. I always think that this is the year we get to the dance. Listen, I think the only way Cleveland, and we haven't talked about the Browns defense today. The Browns defense was getting shredded by Josh Allen. So I just want to put that out there. Now, it is Josh Allen. But from what I seen today from clips that they showed, Josh Allen was doing Josh Allen things. So I'm just saying. Now, I don't know if that's an indictment on our defense or is it Josh Allen being that good, but he was looking good. Shedeur had 2 TD. You know what, Lillian? I was seeing that. I was wondering why the one to Malachi Corley didn't count, but I thought he went into the end zone. Now, the other one, the quick screen to KC Concepcion, I seen him run to the end zone too. So I don't know, and this is why the QB tracker is very fascinating. I don't know what counts as a touchdown and what doesn't. Now, I am not tapped into the Cleveland media like that. I don't have those credentials to actually go watch, but I want to know, what do they count as a touchdown and what doesn't? I don't know. Because I seen him run into the end zone, but it wasn't a touchdown. I seen the screen pass, and let me tell y'all, I told you guys that I was taking KC Concepcion over Denzel Boston to be the surprise person in camp, that one that was going to ball out, because everybody was saying Denzel Boston. Now, Denzel Boston has been great, but KC Concepcion, I'm telling you guys right now, this young man looks amazing. I love it. I love what I see out of him. Even game 1 when he only had like 2 receptions, but the way they're using him in the offense, and this is not a shot at Kevin Stefanski, but it's a shot at the same time. Kevin Stefanski wouldn't even dream of using him the way that Todd Monken's using him already. Quick screens, ending arounds. He looks great. And I know it's only preseason and practice. I understand when it starts for real, we'll see how he does. Is he the real deal Holyfield? I understand all that, but I only can go off what I see. I only can go off the film, the video, the snapshots, the pictures that I see. You know what? I can't see against Jacksonville because they ain't played yet. I only can see what I see. And from what I see so far from KC makes me happy. The water person? Bill could be in an advisory role. Allen was throwing dimes to the tight end. Christian, how are you doing, Christian? How are you? The name doesn't seem familiar. I'm not saying you haven't been here before, but some names I see more than others. So I'm just going to give you an acknowledgement.
Acknowledge me.
I'm just going to acknowledge you. To acknowledge you. You may have been here before, and it's my fault that some names I recognize as much. I try to read every comment, but the tribal chief is going to acknowledge you anyways. Bill B is walking around with 20 somethings. Hey, he isn't worried about football. Oh. Oh man, it's just practice. It doesn't matter. DW is QB1. This competition was to pacify us. He would have been 3 if JJ3 could catch. It would have been 3. There's some fighting words at Jix. They were being very biased in their commentary and didn't even mention the interception that Watson threw. I mentioned Christian. If you want to come to it, listen. If you want to come to a channel that mostly calls it down the middle, you are here. Listen, I am not on side Watson. I'm not on side Shedeur. I'm on side of the team. If one person stinks, I'm going to say it, whether some people like it or not. Now, that's where I get in trouble, Christian, because when Shedeur throws an interception, people get mad at me when I call it out, right? I got yelled at the watch party for just saying a point that you don't want to throw interceptions, and I got yelled at for it, Christian. I just call it how I see it, and I get yelled at for it. When Deshaun Watson stinks, I say it. And when he was stinking, I said it. And when he throws touchdowns, I go, thank the Lord. Thank God. Thank whoever you want to thank. I call it, that's how I see it. And that's why you're back. I appreciate it. Now, some people are going to get mad. That's fine. I'm not going to wave pom-poms for anybody. Not anybody, except Nick Chubb. Now, I won't lie to you. I will not lie to you. When Nick Chubb fumbled against the Patriots twice, I didn't call him out because I love Nick Chubb. I am sorry. That's the only person that I think I was only biased for, that I never said negative things about Nick Chubb. He is still little. I'm a little worried about him staying healthy. That's why I'm back. Wait, Alex Wright got carted off. He did. Alex Wright did get injured today. We don't know how serious it is. That is a position that we need to stay healthy. We don't have depth at that position. We were trying to go after Za'Darius. He did not sign here. He went to the Falcons to go back with his old coach, Kevin Stefanski. So Za'Darius Smith, not on the Browns. We thought he would maybe come back. Jadeveon Clowney, I don't know what happened to him. So we're going to probably have to go out and look for some more depth at that position. They said it was an ankle. So I don't know. Hopefully it's not as serious as it looked. But he was carted off. That's the thing about preseason that you hate, is the injuries in practice, the injuries in games. You want everybody to be healthy. That's why I started watching you last season. Plus, you are hilarious. Thank you, Lillian. Shedeur has outperformed Watson this entire camp. They can't explain having $45 million on the bench. They're going to have to let his fail and bench him for Shedeur to be able to swallow the pill. Facts, Corey is fair. Just be respectful in the chat. Everyone welcome. It was raining. Yeah, it was raining, man. Nick Chubb's the greatest. Chubby was top 5 Browns all time. Yeah, of course. Of course, Jeff. Top 5 all time. Listen. I think the only person I could think of to put above Nick Chubb right now, hold on. I hope mom is doing okay. Mom is doing okay. She is doing okay. I had to help her out the past couple of days. That's why I was not here. If you want to know why I couldn't stream the past couple of days, that is why. Mom comes before anything that would come to the Cleveland Browns. I just want to put it out there, but I am back. But thank you for asking, Christian. Other Cleveland media outlets are saying Mike Hall Jr. is playing like a stud. Love to hear it. Glad, but we're going to need him to be a stud. When it comes to Nick Chubb, I would say if you had to go Browns all time, you would go Jim Brown. I know people have Autogram. I didn't get to see Autogram or Jim Brown play. Don't yell at me. I just didn't get to see him play. They would say Jim Brown, Autogram, Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, Joe Thomas, probably somewhere in there. Somebody, if I'm missing somebody, let me know. But I think he's top 5 all time. I'm saying it with my chest. I think he's above Josh Cribbs, in my opinion. I think he's above Josh Cribbs, in my opinion. If I miss somebody, let me know. But I hope Mike Hall does ball out this season. We're going to need him. This defense, I'm telling you, the offense is going to have to be a little better because I think the defense is going to take a step back. You don't lose the greatest defensive end, arguably in football. Maybe not history yet. He's got some more to do. But definitely the greatest defensive end today, hands down, and think you're going to get better. That's just not going to happen. I don't care how good Jarrett Verse is. He's not Myles Garrett. I don't care how good V8 is. He's not Myles Garrett. You're going to take a little step back on defense. That means your offense has to be a little better. Has to be a little better. That's just the facts. Ludito, Ozzie. I forgot about Ozzie Newsome. That's right, Ozzie Newsome. I forgot about him. I'm still keeping him in the 5. I'll move somebody off. That's how much I love Nick Chubb. Ludito. Now you're going way before my time, AAA. Now, listen, AAA. Listen. All right, chat. I'm about to head up out of here. Saturday, we will be back. Watch party. Browns, Bills. Shedeur will start. Deshaun Watson will play in the second half, and then you'll have Dylan Gabriel to finish out the game. We will be here at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're here. We're going to have some fun as always. We'll laugh together. We'll cry together. We'll die together. Bad boys for life. We're not dying, though. That's just part of the quote. That's part of the movie. I don't plan on that. We'll laugh and cry, but we ain't doing the other part. All right. I appreciate all of you. Until next time, you guys know the drill. It is all love. Peace.